Don't ever go with the flow. Be the flow. And I don't need no middleman to talk to my
Yeah.
I understand if you don't understand. That's where we differ.
Yeah. Welcome to the Wediifer podcast, episode number 14 of the Wediifer podcast. I'm your host, Shell456, alongside my beautiful, lovely, amazing co-host E. I almost forgot the episode of the podcast that it was. You just told me that was episode number 14. But how are you feeling right now?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. Got a lot of energy.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of good energy. I don't know why. Oh, I know what it is. It's the sea moss and it's the black seed oil.
Black seed oil is so nasty.
That shit trash.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the energy, that shit give me like a lot of energy and a boost throughout the day. But how was your day?
Took
Like,
that
what's
this
going
morning.
on?
You still feel it?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's the accumulation of me taking it every day. It should just staying like
You
it's,
just be
shit is
making
in
stuff
my
up. It's
blood.
amazing.
You be nah.
I
It's
be
real shit.
hating. That's what you was about to say.
Nah, because I couldn't call that hating. You a non-believer. How was your day though?
Anyway, it was good. Yeah, the day
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
How was your day?
It was cool. I had to make a quick run before like the snow got crazy. It's crazy out there right now. Snowstorm 2021. We'll see what this joint do.
I'm so much of a non-believer. I was like, it's not gonna stick.
Yeah, it's just sticking like a motherfucker. Do you know how much they say we're going? How much snow?
11 or something.
11?
But I seen 11 inches.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a bad job. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, Wediifer Podcast. The Wediifer Podcast is sponsored by Wediifer Shop. We have hoodies, t-shirts, all types of different merch, different designs. You guys can tap in and look in the description or in link in the bio and, grab up, support the podcast.
Yes.
This podcast, you want to go ahead and lead with the topics?
No.
Yeah, because you know them. I don't be knowing the Jones off the top of my head.
And that's just so horrible.
I be forgetting that quick.
I'm going to start providing you with what's this called again? What? I just said it. I literally just said it.
Index card.
An index card.
I do need index cards over
I'm going to start providing you with an index card and a pen. But we are going to discuss overthinkers, overthinking.
Overthinking. I think.
Yes.
I think we all can kind of relate to that in a lot of different ways. Because I'm so much of an overthinker. It's like ridiculous to the point where I had to like remove certain things out of my life because they made me overthink a bit more. Like I'm still like on like my brain moves so crazy. You know what I'm saying? I would just be like in my own head. Like it's hard to make decisions. Like I'll see something and I'll want something. Like even with just a purchase, like I'll see something, want it, and then I'll start comparing it to something else that's like it that might be better, and then just to go down a rabbit hole, and I'm just end up on a whole new product. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what I was shopping for. So like this, that endless loop of this thinking.
I do that as well. If I'm in a store, I take mad long and with anything. If I'm in a food store.
Yeah.
Like I'll be going down the same aisle mad different times.
Yeah.
Clothing, like I can go there for one reason, like, and I'm in a mall, like, and I'm just like, oh, what about this? What about this?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And oh my God, when it comes to food, I'm really bad with that because like I was like,
that's how women is though. Women, y'all just don't ever know what y'all want to eat. It's always just like, I don't know. And I know you probably gonna say the same shit about me because I never know what I want to eat. But I'm a savage, so it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll eat anything like this. I mean, I'll be like, that's the only thing I don't need to think about. Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, I mean,
try to give you options, but you be like,
whatever. Yeah. All right. I want to kind of like compare like something and see what side you lean on. Kind of like I don't want to say what's better. All right, well, I'm just gonna go into it. Like thinking something out or using like your gut feeling. Like what do you think is like because I know a lot of people say, yo, just go with your gut. But is that always the right way to go? Should you sit down and process something?
Okay. I don't know, because when it comes to like relationship shit,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times like women's intuition is very
Go.
real.
Oh. All right. Yeah.
So
I
so a lot of times like if you feel like your nigga is cheating,
is
he's
cheating.
probably cheating.
All right. So you should just go into it like just go with your gut feeling and then maybe think about it or no thinking at all.
No, if
Because that's
he
how murders happen and shit. Like when you just don't think, you just do dumb
all
shit.
right, but I'm like certain instances, but more times like a man will say, all right, if a man and a woman in a relationship and
Mhm.
she's suspecting that he's cheating, more than likely I'm here to say he's cheating. Okay.
Yeah, but
Hold on, not finished.
That's crazy to say.
He's cheating. I don't care.
But that's kind of crazy to say. You can't. You shouldn't
mm,
be able to just say that.
he's cheating. But if a woman like is if she says something and approaches the man, of course he's gonna be like he's gonna like make every excuse and he's gonna like
All right.
hold on, let me finish. Oh,
All right,
go ahead.
So those excuses when a man is approached, do you think that's like just from the gut? Like he's saying what, like whatever the excuse is, do you think it's from the gut, or do you think he got to think about that?
Oh yeah, he's a sicko and he's just lying. He
Just
just makes
thinking.
up
So it's
lies.
not. So anything that come from the gut might be truth.
No.
All right.
No, so let me finish. So,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that relationship and a woman, approaches a man,
Or vice versa.
when a woman approaches a man,
Or vice versa. You just can't do that. That's such a blanket
let me
statement.
rock on a man.
All right, go
my
ahead. Go ahead.
guy. So, she's gonna approach him. He's gonna make up a lie or whatever. So then he's gonna be hitting her with all this shit, and then she's gonna be like, "Damn, well maybe he's right." Or I am wilding, and then she just starts thinking. Hold on, let me finish.
I didn't say anything.
I see you about to
All right,
cut me
good.
off,
All right.
and then she's thinking like, well, maybe he's not or whatever. But not initially. What was her gut feeling? Her intuition told him like, what it was, and like, I mean, I don't know what it is, but I've had intuition so many times and I've been right every single time.
Okay.
Every single time. Like a woman's intuition. I don't know about a man's intuition, but a woman's like, and y'all don't you can't like relate. So I don't know if you could really like say like, oh, it's bullshit. Well, you can't say it's bullshit, but I don't know if you can really speak to it because you don't have it. But a woman's intuition is fucking crazy.
So you don't think men have intuition?
Not like a woman.
You think so?
Not like a woman.
I think
because
women
it's an emotion
always suspect.
because it's emotionally like attached.
It's an emotional type thing,
Yeah.
and men are not as emotional. Some guys are as emotional.
Yeah, that's true.
So have you ever came across a guy that was like had those type of? All right, I don't even want to ask you that question because that's the I don't want to ask you that question. All right,
I haven't.
I don't even know. Like I
What's another
had
example?
I had a great ass point. I had a great ass point. I forgot what it was. But this go through some of the things in the list. My point will come back to me.
Okay, but we was off the cheating shit, right? The woman and the man.
No, I mean we can dig deeper into that.
No, we don't have to.
All right, come on.
All right, so when it comes to you what was your original question? It said, is it gut feeling? Should you go with your gut feeling?
Yeah.
Or overthink?
Gut feeling over thinking
Okay.
things out.
All right, so that's one aspect,
Mhm.
like in a relationship, going with your gut feeling. But sometimes I'm not gonna hold you. Like it could be an instance where, you should probably overthink about some things, because if you catch your nigga cheating or whatever, and then now you don't think about it, so now you're this is the flip side of it. So now you're emotional. So now you just go in and you do some shit, and maybe you kill him. So now it's a crime of passion,
Christ.
or whatever. So yeah, so sometimes it is good to just overthink versus just going with your gut. Now I'm mad. Now I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, overthinking has just become so crazy because you just start to get in your head and you just start to play out things in your head that's not even real. And I think that's where it gets dangerous at. You can have a gut feeling that somebody's cheating, but when you start to overthink and shit and you start it gets crazy. Like women, y'all pick together a whole type of stories
Um,
and shit.
I mean, yeah. So even like other than the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
overthinking I think solely comes from like an emotional standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're emotional, I think the issue is if you go and like perform an action,
Mm-hmm.
because now you're making decisions based off of emotion. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where the issue would lie.
Okay, and to piggyback off of action, what about like inaction, and like something that we are gonna talk about today is procrastination, like
Hmm.
how thinking leads to being a procrastinator. You can think about, it could be something as simple as writing a paper, you know what I'm saying, and you just start to overthinking, and then you start to might doubt the subject that you're writing about. Maybe I'm not as good in this subject. So you do research for 5 days, and then you just overthink and overthink and overthink. So it's just no action. And that goes with a lot of different things. I think overthinking leads to procrastination a lot
Uh,
because self-doubt start to kick in your head, and just all types of different things you just thinking about that's not even real. You know what I'm saying?
hmm Um, Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if my overthinking has ever led to procrastination.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if I'm thinking about something, it's because like I want to make a play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I'm trying to, and I'm a planner.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm planning to make that play. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
overthinking. I'm thinking like, all right, well, what if it goes this way? What if it goes this way? Well,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So like, yeah, it's not like my overthinking doesn't really lead to procrastination. I do procrastinate. I'm
Yeah,
not saying
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
procrastinate, but if I'm
yeah.
procrastinating, I'm literally not thinking about it.
With me, I think I get to the point of like over like if I got a task to complete, or like say it's something on the computer I gotta do, but I'm not really well versed and I need to learn how to do it before I get to it. Like I will find somewhere to learn how to do it, but I'll learn how to do it, but I'll still just overkill and keep learning how to do it and
Yeah,
watch the same videos over
yes,
and over
yes,
and over again. And I think like I don't think it's like what it's stuck in my head. I know how to do it, but I think it's procrastination. You know what I'm saying? And that could be like you start thinking, you start to have a fear of things. Like I want to do it perfect. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times I try to be a perfectionist, and
yeah.
it just like become all scattered. So my overthinking is like my overthinking issue is like super super crazy.
I think procrastination is fear based.
Hmm.
But as far as you,
Hmm.
I don't know if it's like when you're watching videos and like I think you're just an avid learner and you want like every aspect of it, because I've seen you like when you got your new camera,
Hmm.
you watched, oh my god,
For days and days and days and
it
days,
was
and this shit is like,
ridiculous, right? So you watch all these videos, but
yeah,
you wanted to know how to use your camera.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
I don't know if that's really
yeah.
you just an avid learner, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
But I do think sometimes procrastinators, and I think this is you, could just coming up with new ideas. Like,
yeah.
oh, like I'm just, and like I think coming up with new ideas just create chaos to
Mhm,
avoid
mhm,
engaging in whatever your dream is, whatever you
mhm,
planned, whatever
mhm,
you wanted to do. And though sometimes um it could be beneficial because patience is virtue, sometimes
mhm,
I think some things are better if you attack them head on.
mhm. That's
So,
why I don't believe in multitasking no more. I'm
oh
over
my
that
god,
multitask. That shit is I can't do it.
you
It's
can't.
not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think you can multitask and be efficient in real life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a,
Some people might it might differ with some people, but that's a hard practice for me.
we gonna agree to disagree on that because I mean, how you gonna be how can you be all right a mom? How can she be a mom without multitasking?
I mean, yeah, I'm talking about in that aspect, but I'm talking about like uh as far as like work in a work aspect. Cause I believe you could cook and watch your baby at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like physical things. I'm talking about like shit that take mental power. That type of multitasking is like just inefficient.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, overthinking and planning. So, do you think that? How do you feel about planning?
Um, I think planning is like always. It's always good to plan because I think planning takes away a lot of overthinking. If you got a solid plan leading up to that plan, you're not your brain not racing. You know what I'm saying? You got it planned out, you got it structured, you got to strategize so you can just like kind of attack things the way you need to attack things. And that's something I need to be more better at, like planning and scheduling. Because the reason that I do overthink because I just pick up things and just put that shit in my head. So yeah, I think planning is a great way to strategize and to like not overthink as much.
So, do you think that when you plan, it doesn't give you that leeway to like make a mistake? It doesn't give you that if you plan,
Hmm.
a person like me, you're just so set on like that plan, and when one mistake occurs, it's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what to
yeah.
do. So that's why I think like sometimes like that overthinker in me where I plan
Hmm.
like can fuck me up.
Hmm.
And then like now I'm suffering from the anxiety.
Hmm.
Now I'm like crying in the fucking corner. And now I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my
yeah.
God, like what I'm gonna do?
I Yeah, yeah. I feel that definitely. And another thing with planning with me is like I feel like planning is so definite, and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about certainty that fucks with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to tweak shit up
Mm-hmm.
until it get to that point. So planning for me is like that's what it is, and that's what I got to do. But like I like to like up until the last minute tweak shit and work on shit. So planning is really tough for me, and scheduling is just like because it's always something that pop up in my head that I gotta fix and reroute.
I love schedule. I love both.
Hmm.
But I can see the error in planning because like if my plans as a child
Hmm.
was I go to school, graduate high school, graduate college, find a husband, have
Hmm.
a baby.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and then you get older and it's like, damn, like, oh my God, I'm gonna be 30 in a few years. I don't
Yeah.
have a baby. I'm not married.
Yeah.
And then like it's like everything is a plan and your life, no one's life went exactly as planned.
No,
No
never,
one's. No
never,
one's.
never.
So
Yeah.
honestly, sometimes I just feel like maybe you should just do whatever's in your heart. Just let your heart lead.
We back to guts. The gut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just lead more towards that. I mean,
Mhm.
ideally, that would be beautiful. I mean, I'm not gonna do it like
Mhm.
no time soon,
Mhm.
but that could be a goal of mine.
Yeah. I think this leading with your gut is like you kind of live with. It's easier to live with the consequence of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because you overthink, you're like, damn, I thought this, and then I thought this, and you might do the wrong thing, and with your gut is just like, okay, I did that shit. And if it don't work, you might have fucked up. You can just accept that shit and fix it. You know what I'm saying? Other than it's overthinking and not doing it.
Hmm.
Gut instinct is just like, okay, I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? This might work. It might not work. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. But another part of planning, I think about like women and like planning to have kids, and
Hmm.
it's like, oh, um I gotta reach this goal before I have a kid, but it's always like something else is always going to be added to the list.
Yeah, yeah,
Always.
yeah, yeah.
So a lot of times like I'm pressured to have a kid. Like
Hmm.
people like, oh, we're gonna have a kid, right?
Hmm.
So I'm like, I have these goals,
Hmm.
like that's always been a part of my goal list, and I'm like, I haven't accomplished any of them
Yeah,
besides graduating,
yeah,
any of them.
yeah.
So people will tell you like, yo, like you're never gonna be ready. You're never gonna be ready to have a kid.
Hmm. Hmm.
You get the fuck ready,
Hmm.
and that's wow. That's the first curse.
First curse what?
Wow, I think
Today?
that's the first curse.
I didn't curse.
I don't know, but listen, anyway, y'all, we be talking about Rob be like, you gotta stop cursing. Shells be like, you gotta stop cursing so much. And I be like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
how many minutes we in?
We in almost 20 minutes, no curses.
Hey, I don't know if you cursed, but I didn't.
So like, that don't count. We a team. All
We
right.
are a team.
100%. 100%. All right. What was we talking about before that?
Before, oh, I just cut myself off.
Yeah.
just planning
Planning.
and how like you're never just gonna be ready. I was talking about like moms, like
Yeah.
or, like women.
Yeah.
And we plan for these things, but like it just a lot of times you plan for like this way that you think your life you think you want your life,
Yeah.
but a lot of times you don't even know what you really want, or the course during the course of life you'll find out what you truly want. So
Yeah.
it may
Yeah.
not you
Yeah.
know it just it's
It's
a switch.
yeah, it's just it's such a difficult thing because it's like with that, and I don't know if we're getting off topic, but like I think people want things to be a certain type of way, and people want to have everything figured out by the time they're a certain age. Like say you 30, turn 30. Society forced us to, oh, you should have everything together by the time you turn 30. Your whole life should be figured out by the time you turn 30. But in reality, it's people that's out here that's 50 that have no fucking clue what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I would say the majority of people don't have anything figured out. I would say 90% of people haven't figured life out. It's such a difficult thing. It's every day. It's different obstacles thrown in your way. So how can you ever have something that as complex as a life and going through it figured out?
Yeah.
I mean,
It-
it's stupid, and people live up to it, and they look stupid trying to live up to it.
I mean, no,
Most times, at most times. I'm just saying, most
you
times.
make a very valid point about life and it being such a complex thing and
Yeah,
us trying to plan. Like, how can we plan? Truly, try to even plan a life.
there's so
Like
many
our
curveballs.
lives are so complex. Like even you don't know what's gonna happen. You have like diseases. You have like deaths.
Yeah,
You have financial burdens. You
yeah,
have like unexpected things happen all the time, and
yeah.
we call ourselves planning these things, and it's like you don't know what will happen. But I can say, I guess maybe what you can do
Mm-hmm.
is give yourself an overview of
Mm-hmm.
what you would like to accomplish,
That's a great way
and
to
you
think of
can
it and do
plan
it.
for what you can plan for is certain obstacles that you can see yourself going through. So I can see, all right, if you're employed,
Mm-hmm.
I can see myself being fired because you can fucking get fired. That's
Yeah, yeah,
foreseeable, very
yeah,
foreseeable.
yeah.
So, all right, do you want to savings? Maybe save enough to get you through 6 months. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something like that's very doable.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
Hold on, take that back. I'm not saying saving 6 months if you work. If you don't make enough money is doable. I'm saying planning
Yeah,
to actually put that in a plan is
yeah, yeah,
doable
yeah.
because it's foreseeable.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Okay. All right. Now I want to like step it up like a notch. And as far as the thinking aspects and thinking thoughts, how powerful do you think thoughts are? The power of thoughts. Do you believe like you can think things into existence?
You wanted it, God. This you bringing other episodes into this one.
Am
Okay,
I?
yes, you are, but whatever. Manifestation. I
Mm-hmm.
believe in manifestation. I believe it's a very powerful thing. Powerful thing. I believe that you can't just say, "Oh, I want a bike." I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what made me think of a bike,
Mm-hmm.
but I want a bike, and you're gonna get a bike. I
Mm-hmm.
think you have to like to say you want something.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be contaminated with any fear. It
Mm-hmm.
can't be contaminated with any hate. It can't be
Mm-hmm.
contaminated with anything other than the positive attraction of getting whatever
The
you are
good
trying to
the
manifest.
good vibration.
Yes. I do believe that it comes in due time. And like I said, patience is virtue
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So if you say you want a bike and you're like um and maybe you don't need a bike right now. Maybe you wildin'.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you just don't need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you would say, well, I was doing everything right and like I was living this way and I was like really praying or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but it just wasn't your time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So and
yeah.
I do believe whatever whether you be spiritual or religious,
Mm-hmm.
um it's up to God.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Um yeah.
Yeah, I believe like thoughts are powerful things and energy and all that stuff. Basically, yeah, like you said with timing, I think it never. I don't think you can. And went back to plan. I don't think you can ever plan how something is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you can say, I want to buy this $100,000 car, and you can have a really nice job, and that might not be the way you get to that car. You know what I'm saying? Something else might happen, and you know what I'm saying. You might, a stock might hit, or some other event might happen, and it comes into fruition. Stuff like
Uh,
that.
I can say, yeah, so you can say what you want. But in certain instances, I believe that you should like be thinking about certain things. So if you say, "Oh, I just want to," I'm sorry to keep bringing this up,
Hmm.
but if you just say, "I have a friend of mine," that's if you say, "I want to have a baby,"
Hmm.
okay, you want to have a baby. Are you in a position to have a baby right now?
Hmm.
Should you really be having a baby right now?
Hmm.
So I think that if you take steps in the direction to be able to prepare for a baby, that's
Hmm.
planning.
Hmm.
So like in cases like that, then yes, you
Hmm.
should 100% plan.
Hmm.
Because I don't, a lot of times, a lot of things I think you can't plan for,
Hmm.
but something like bringing another life, you're responsible for a whole nother life. I think
Hmm.
that's something that you should plan for.
Hmm.
And I think that's why a lot of kids or now like adults are like screwed at at this point because like their pregnancies, their childhood, it wasn't prepared for.
Hmm. I mean, but I just think, yeah, but most cases people don't plan for kids.
They don't, but at least all right, they don't, but you
I don't think
can't
I've
be wanting
ever.
to
I don't
have a
think I've
baby.
ever seen anybody like.
Yeah,
Well,
but you can't be wanting to have it. I mean, you shouldn't be wanting to have a baby if you're fucked up.
you can do what you want to do.
I don't think you should. I don't care. I said what I
Right.
said.
I think when it come to that, like, I think babies change mental aspects. So I would never say like, uh, don't plan for it. Don't plan for a kid, or you shouldn't be fucked up when you have a kid, because a lot of times that's what drag people from those lower levels, is a low level of vibration. When you have a kid, it's a strength that comes over you, and it forces you to work harder and do things and have more ambition most of the times. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen people who life was fucking till they had their kid, and then like, that kid made them, it's just all
I agree
energy.
with that,
Hmm.
but I believe that you should do that work like for you. I believe yourself should bring you to those levels. So I don't think like another person should make you like
Hmm. But
level up. I think
but
yourself should.
I think it's just like, you can never plan on how something's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, things just happen. And I think, like you said, God, like, sometimes God just throw things in your life and it make you level up, and sometimes he throw things in your life make you level down. It's just like, it depends on how you take that shit. It depends
No,
on
no,
how.
I agree with like the whole because sometimes people like do get right for their kids. They
Hmm.
really do. Um, but I don't really see the sense in because we have so many impoverished children, so many children who aren't given the opportunities because of what they were born into. So I don't
Mm,
really see the sense in having children and like if you're gonna make create a better life and those are your intentions, that's that's great.
mhm,
But if that doesn't happen, if those are not your intentions, and if it's just like, oh, another check or another
mhm.
child to claim, or oh, I'm another baby because I'm lonely, and like those sorts of things, like I just don't agree with it.
Yeah,
And people can do what they want. It's their child, their body, and all that. But
yeah. All right, let's get off that. Like, thoughts, back to like thinking and thoughts. What about thoughts going in negative ways? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think if you, like, for example, like, I was thinking about this fucking computer, right? I love my old computer. Wasn't nothing wrong with this computer. For a week straight, I said, man, I fucking hate this computer. You know what I'm saying? Like, for no reason. It's just like, I like my old computer. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like it was a better computer, right? Week after that, this shit just fucking like start acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? I go online and find if anybody else had this issue. Can't find that shit nowhere. Brand new computer. I take it to the Mac store. They say, oh, this is rare. You know what I'm saying? It's just like crazy. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, the computer was cool. But like, do you think those negative thoughts of this new thing that I just purchased and like the you think that, do you believe in stuff like that? Or do you like,
If
because I
it
know a lot of people like look at that shit like voodoo, but I'm a strong believer in like
if it could affect you positively, of course it can affect you
negatively.
negatively.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in a similar situation occurred to me. I was talking cash shit about my car.
Mm-hmm.
Cash shit about my car. And it's a new car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the car was working absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the gym, come out of the gym, and the car will not start.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was like literally in the gym talking crazy about my car. Like, I don't want that shit. I don't even want that
Yeah.
car or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, and like it hasn't only happened one time. Like anytime I talk about my car, like, and I try to like really keep that in mind because it started happening to me years ago. I
Yeah.
really try to keep that in mind. Like, yo, be grateful that you
Yeah.
have a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously. And
Yeah.
I've never had like I've never had a piece of shit car, like an old car. So
Yeah.
for me to like talk cash shit and then something to keep happening, it's plain.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
obvious that
Yeah.
my thoughts are creating like reality.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so many other instances like that.
For sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. All right, we are at 30 minutes. Do we have anything like subtopics under this topic that we didn't cover?
No, but no. Mm-mm.
All right, we're gonna wrap this episode up. We want to condense these episodes a little bit. Like I always say, we appreciate y'all for listening and watching on YouTube, Apple Music, and all that stuff. This is the Wediifer podcast, and we will be back next Monday.
No, you always like, let me say something before
Go ahead.
you wrap up, okay? I would like to say, aside from everything that we just talked about, do what's in your heart. Like whether it be like you planning because like you want this thing and you want it to succeed really bad and you've always wanted it was your dream. But do what's in your heart. Follow your heart. And sometimes let it flow. Sometimes you gotta follow the plan. But just do what's in your heart. And ultimately it will come to reality. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, we are the Wediifer podcast, episode number 14, and we are out.
Peace.